Monday.
Monday.
It
Happy Monday,
is
Goo.
indeed happy Monday, January 26th, 2026. Happy
All
Monday,
day
buddy.
long. Happy Monday. How goes it today on this beautiful, blustery morning?
Not blustery here, just a little chilly. A little not too windy, not too much anything going on, but it's cold and we are live. We are not snowed in. We are good to go. So,
Nice. Yeah, we got 22 degrees here, so I've got all my pipes dripping. Right now in the garage, it's 41 degrees, 41.2. So I'm like, nah, I'm not filming from the garage today. I'm going to be inside with my nice little, won't you be my neighbor? My little cardigan.
I love it.
Yeah, makes me happy. It brings a lot of warmth. I guess wool, synthetic wool, something. Mm-hmm.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we were supposed to have our partner Alex Lambrinides in from WCR Zero World Enterprises.
La.
However, as the majority of you know, there is a crazy winter storm going on right now. And yeah, we are unable to link up with Alex right now. So we're going to get him on later on this week um, or next week somewhere, try and get him lined up to join us on the pod. So apologies, but shit happens, weather happens, and we want to make sure that all of our friends in the Northeast are taken care of in the safe spot and everything is good to go. So shout outs to all of our Northeastern all the way down through the Central. I mean, I guess Ohio's getting blasted. Everybody's getting it. Deej, you're in Houston / Katy, Texas, and you're getting freeze warnings, right?
Oh yeah, well we're frozen. Well, not the pipes, but everything outside is 22 degrees, 23, and we just had to. We got the tail end of it. So there was a big band all the way from New Mexico up to like Maine, and it just slowly moved and dropped a lot of freezing rain and shit across the central U.S. We got a bunch of rain before the freeze, but luckily, Dallas got hammered, got some snow. Houston, we had like a nice buffer from the Gulf of America, push enough high, winds and stuff. It kept the freeze off of us yesterday until late yesterday night or so. So yeah, we got spared from any damaging pipes, but right now it's in the 20s, so we've got to play keep your house pipes warm, or else you're in trouble. But it'll warm up to like 34 today, like a heat wave. So we're unaffected. We're just slowly just dripping the pipes, making sure that they don't pop. How's the weather over there in Arizona?
We're good. We're in the where are we at? I don't know, mid 40s right now. Um, so we're not. I mean, it's basically winter. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
a little
Oh
chillier
yeah,
than normal, but yeah, but nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Oh, nothing crazy. I'm messing
yeah.
around.
Good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm at the boss's desk right now. I'm at Maurice's desk and I'm using a microphone or an earbud that I'm not used to using. And then I
Mm-hmm.
have the two screens going and I opened up the live feed, but when I opened up the live feed, it was giving me you were talking, but also I
Mm-hmm.
was like on the 5 second delay. So I'm catching two deeds at once. I got the live deeds and then a five
Too many
second
deeds
delayed.
talking.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
was like,
lot.
oh shit, it's a
Too
lot of
much
deeds
deeds.
going on.
You got the deeds. Well, yeah,
Got the
speaking of chat, I
deeds.
want to say good morning to Grace. We've got Grace, Craig, Jessica, Damien, Sean Hart. We got Eric Leonardo, Cody Smith, Tyler Levi, Jessica Battle, Jason Rands is popping in. Good morning, guys. And thanks for popping in. Clearview Horizon. How do you do this morning? Yeah, sorry we
Yeah.
didn't. We're gonna have Alex on because of the weather and all that frightfulness out there. We're not gonna try and rush him into getting on today. So, like Goose said, we'll have him on later this week, next week, sometime soon to get the lowdown on what's going on with WCR.
Yeah, he said he's been outside since 5:30 in the morning trying to dig out. That is a shame. And he said his quad tore a belt doing it much slower with the snowblower. That does not sound like fun. One of the reasons I
Snowblowers are
love that.
fun.
Yeah, well, working in the cold doesn't sound like fun, is what I'm getting at. I've told you guys, word them up, Jake Vano. I told you guys before, I'm a big bag of bitch when it comes to cold. It's not my jam. I bundle
As
up
you
like
can.
crazy
I
and
buy
and
honey.
make make sure I'm toasty, snug as a bug in the rug.
Hey, that's why I got this cardigan on today. I'm loving it. It's the secret is behind the warmth.
Yeah, I like that cardigan. That's pretty sharp. I didn't see what are you rocking underneath? You got a zero shirt underneath?
Zero, baby. I feel like Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers over here. Just need some shoes. But everyone here, look, you can see my whiteboard. It says a whiteboard on it, just in case you weren't knowing what it was.
A whiteboard.
It's
I'm
a
going
whiteboard.
through and trying to check now and see what everybody's got going on today. It says minus frozen and closing in. Craig Hensel, the wee wee slipping into the bodies. Yeah, sorry, Sean. No, Alex. He's still trying to dig out of that snow. But we are gonna have some fun today. Something that we tried to do earlier is maybe have somebody pop on. Um, Mom just took brother to school. Sorry, sweetie. We can see about having somebody who's actually in the chat maybe pop on later on.
Pop.
Um, pop on, but we may do that a little bit. So how do you prep your house for some of these winter storms? These what you do?
Well, what I did is there's something called the freeze miser. It's a little white thing. Basically, it can control water in your outside pipes. So if you attach a freeze miser, you turn on your water. When the temperature gets below 40, it starts drip, 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 dripping. That way you don't have pipes freeze up and burst. So I go around the house and I put insulating stuff around all my pipes outside. And then I attach the drip miser thing to the two outlets or the two spigots and let them babies roll. And it just constantly drips. So I don't have to worry about, having a waterfall of water gushing outside my house. That covering the plants, we've got some gardenias, roses, stuff like that we've got to cover, with sheets and then plastic over that because it did rain pretty bad and freezing rain was really in the forecast yesterday, but we missed out on a ton of that. So no tree damage, no limbs falling on power lines. That was nice. Overnight, we
No,
do the typical leave all the faucets dripping. That way, when you wake up in the morning, you've got water.
there you go. As long as you're not frozen solid, you're good to go, right?
Yep. Yeah. That's going to get up to like 34, 30, no, 40 today. So I'll be able to unhook and turn everything off around noon and then turn it back on tonight because we're going to dip back into the 23s. And that's pretty chilly for Houston. Um, homes down here aren't made for a lot of we're not insulated like the Buffalo or anywhere in New York or Minnesota. We've got very, very low insulation in the walls, so to speak. So the downstairs of my house is like really drafty. Got a lot of windows, so a lot of fun. But it's nice. I like this time of year, except for the slow. The slowness really sucks.
Wow. Morning, Corey Climus. Jessica's talking about we don't have a basement, we have a slab, and talking about the construction of her home and how she had to turn the heaters basically facing to the walls to keep them unfrozen. That's just insane. Yeah, it's not something that we worry about too much. Here in Arizona, but it happens from time to time.
Mhm.
But other than that, man, we just kind of roll with the flow. You know what I mean?
As long as it ain't
Um,
flowing out the side of your house, you're in good shape.
yeah, right. Any big plans for the week? Any work lined up? I know
Yeah,
you were
I've
doing
got
some gutters last
yeah, I
week.
did a
What's
lot of
on the
gutters last
agenda?
week. So some more gutters for this week. But I'm gonna get out there when it hits 35, 40. So I'm gonna text the customers today because I don't want to push anybody because a lot of people are stressed out with their plans being effed up, with their schedules being messed up. Monday, there's no school today, so that really sucks. A lot of kids are staying home, but try to stay busy that way. I just got an approval yesterday. Basically, my neighborhood's got a swimming pool. They do swim meets and all that crap. So they
Yeah,
approached me Friday for an estimate for it. So I sent them off the estimate to clean the swimming pool, patio deck, what have you, and then rinse out their two bathrooms. I sent them out an estimate. I guess they voted on it Saturday, and I was approved. So sometime this week, I can go play in the cold and go wash some swim pool decking for the neighborhood. So that's exciting. It's going to pay for half my dues, my HOA dues, due in
there you
January.
go.
And I'm like, oh, don't have it. So that'll help pay half of it.
Nice. HOA.
Yeah.
What a fun thing.
Yes. I was the vice president of the HOA years ago, which is a funny little story in itself. But Yeah, it's the HOAs can be a good thing and a bad thing, like a double-edged sword. You've got neighbors, making sure that people keep their houses in order, get the mildew off the side of the house, clean the gutters, keep the trash cans up at the driveway. But at the same time, they can be like really strict. I've never had any problems with them, thank God, because I keep on top of stuff. But yeah, if you got an HOA, they're even hard. I don't want to say hard to work for, but there's some HOAs that I've made a lot of money for cleaning walls, through the parking lot, stuff like that. So HOAs can be good. You just got to find a gatekeeper, somebody in charge. So I went through a swimming pool committee and not the HOA itself, just a subcommittee. And they went ahead and approved it because they're allowed to spend X amount of dollars without having to go to the board. So I made sure to keep my number, comfortably happy, and I'll be washing at some point. I know they start swimming. I mean, the pool is open year round, so you can beep yourself in and go swimming any day of the week. So
Is
they
it
let the
heated?
pool. Not really, but in Houston, it's probably a 70, 70, 80 degree pool, maybe.
Hell no, not with this frozen weather. It'll drop down. It'll
Oh,
get cold as hell. It'll be like
yeah,
in
it'll
the
get,
50s and 60s.
probably. It's more like
That's
a polar
cold
bear
ass
swim.
water.
Yeah. So
Who's
I don't,
ready
I'm not going swimming.
who's ready for a polar plunge?
Splash. Oh my gosh, my titties. It's so cold. I used to live on a lake, and I dove into a lake once while it was frozen. And what they don't tell you is that the little ice cubes around the edge of the whatever are basically like sharp razor blades. So when you
Yeah,
get it,
they're gonna
you
gas
get
you.
cold shit. Yeah, I got gashed.
That's
So
no
don't go
fun.
swimming. Yeah, if you're gonna jump in a lake in the middle of January, wear a t-shirt or not.
Yeah, wear some Levi's so you don't get gashed.
Yeah,
Um, what's the rest of the week look like for you weather-wise? It looks like
weather-wise, yeah, I think it's
I'm
gonna be in the
trying to check
40s,
with some
but
of the people in the chats. Looks like Jay's only going to get 1 or 2 days in. How is
mhm.
everybody else going to deal with this weather? I didn't mean to cut you off, Teets, but I want to hear what
No,
everybody else has
go
got
for it.
going on too. Um, what's everybody got going on? I mean, I know this week's at least got a monkey wrench in most people's plans Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Can you get out of this? What are you doing to supplement income? How are you getting through this week? Are you planning on taking some time off now to, just chill and reorganize your thoughts? I think sometimes we take things like this for granted. A lot of times we think like, oh fuck, I can't work today. Oh, we stress about the money aspect. One of the things I try to tell myself is like, and you and I've had this discussion before, is like I try to remind myself that I'm in the right place no matter what's going on in my life. Like this is right where I'm supposed to be,
Sure.
regardless of what's going on. Like I'm supposed to be here. Don't try to rush. Don't try to do things. Like whenever I try to take control, usually the bus goes off course. So um how are our friends dealing with this? Are they just taking some time to themselves? Like what are you guys going to do? I definitely want to hear about it. So sorry about that, Deeds. Like
No, no,
seriously, when are
people.
you what does your week look like, and when are you getting back to work, and how's the rest of the week gonna treat you weather-wise?
Yeah. Yeah, I got last week I did two realtor packages. So that was a really nice shot in the arm for last week. Like I said, this week I've got two gutter cleanings, but I've got to make sure that I don't want to work in the 32 degrees, even though I will. But B, I've got to make sure there's no rain and moisture because while it's raining, it's not good for ladder climbing. Plus,
Yeah,
I don't want to spook. I don't want to say spook, but piss off customers. Like, hey, I'm ready today when it's like frozen outside and they're probably miserable because they've been inside trying to keep their pipes from not bursting. So I've got to
yeah,
play a little touch and go. But I'm going to do a post this morning on Nextdoor with some before and afters from last week, and try to get some business drummed up. Remind people that hey, it's cold. You're sitting in your house eating soup. I can clean your gutters because they're still dirty, still full.
yeah. It looks
So
like
that'll be
Cody says he's washing houses all week. But I think he's
nice.
in North Carolina.
Hmm.
Um, Damien's got 10 inches right now, and the rest of 46. The beautiful weather should be. So he looks like he'll be all right.
Yeah.
Um,
As far as Cody with the house washes at 40, I did a few side of the house washes last year when it was like 35, 36 degrees. And it's cold, but as long as the SH can sit and linger, it takes like twice as long because it's 30, 40 degrees. But
mhm.
but just let that SH sit in the house, wet it down because it takes longer to kill the algae because the algae is dormant because it's so cold outside. But yeah, Cody can still knock them six houses out in the 40s. So congrats to him.
Yeah, good
Got
for him.
Craig.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say
Uh,
Gabe Gutierrez is saying if anybody wants a pocket full of sunshine, shoot him shoot him your address and he'll mail you a pocket full of sunshine from sunny
free,
Arizona.
good.
Attaboy, Gabe.
Yeah,
That's a way to
free
start your Monday
smells,
off.
free sunshine smells. Corey Klimas has a inside. What is this? Yeah, he's got inside interior glass cleaning job this week, so that's cool. Another interior. Yeah, so interiors this week seems to be a really good money shot for people. So if you've got somebody or some
Money
commercial
shot.
interiors, take it, do it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the interiors anyways. I
Mhm.
think that it's something that we kind of slack on. I try not to. I try to make sure that I sell at any interior that I can. But it's definitely something that you can, if you're trying to get out of the house a little bit, you got a big house and people are like, hey, we don't want to do it today, or it's supposed to do this or that. Trying to get some guys out, send them out, do some interiors. There you go. Problem solved.
Boom. Put them on the glass when it's cold outside.
Yeah. Put them on the glass inside. That's how you got
Yep.
to do it, right?
Zuck Vogativen says, "Welcome to the North, Southerners. Yeah, we got to taste your bitter cold. Jack Frost nipping at our noses. It's too cold."
So how was the weekend, dude? What'd you guys do this weekend?
This weekend, I just planned around for this cold snap. You know, panic buying bread, milk, brisket, queso cheese, because you know you can't spend a cold night without some brisket queso cheese. But yeah, just wrapping the pipes, taking all the potted plants into the garage, just getting hunkered down for this, and just seeing what happens. You know, we were really expecting to get freezing rain slash snow the other night, but like I said, we had a nice buffer. The freeze line stayed just north of Houston, so it was like 33 in the morning instead of 32 or 30. So we got lucky, real lucky.
Nice. Yeah, John Camarero's days like today are a great day to work on systems and processes for your business.
Yeah.
I am like the absolute worst when it comes to working on stuff inside my business. I try to I'm always doing something, but the systems part, I am like, I'm just a dummy still. After all these freaking years, you'd think that it would just come easier, and it's just not my jam, not something I enjoy working on. But you know how that goes.
Let's talk about
Greg's
buttered sausage. Buttered sausage, what it is, where it's going. Get it out of my face.
I know all
No, it's
about
not
that
my
guy.
jam. Yeah, I love that guy. But no, it's systems is important. You know, I go through your CRM, rewrite your description of your services, go through your terms and conditions if you've got them, add and subtract some lines, sharpen that up. I mean, just the little things you can do. Last week, I reached out to 5 gutter cleaning customers from last January, and so I landed 2 of those. You know, they replied, "When can you do it?" I'm like, before the freeze. Like, heck yeah. So, you know, you've got to, you know, you got to be in your business. January, February, that's some of the slowest months for me, and I'm sure for you guys. So it's a good time to simmer down. You know, start going through your phone, look at all your photos, start uploading them to Facebook, upload them to your Google My Business profile, really get the SEO working. Because come spring, people are going to be looking, who's still open, who's busy, who's active, and if they see that you've been posting every couple of days or every week photos of your work, it'll help your chances of getting the phone call and selling jobs for March.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've added anything to my Google profile. I probably should do that today. We have 3 little house jobs that we're going to be doing 8 a.m. or on one gig, 9 on the second, and 10 to 10:30 on the third. So we got a nice little morning out. Just
Nice.
yeah, little 3, 4 bedroom houses that we'll just bang out. We should be done, 11:15, 11:30. So 3 houses, 3.5 hours, all in the same neighborhood.
Nice. That
Well,
helps.
yeah, I mean, if I go out there, we get stuff done more rapidly. Billy's a pro anyway, so if even if it was him, it would probably only take uh, you know 90 minutes a house, maybe 2 hours.
Sure.
But if there's both of us out there, we should be done in less than an hour each house.
Yeah. My solo self, you're like, oh, an hour here, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock to 11:30. I'm like, shit, I'd be there. I'd be at the second job at 11, third job at 1, because I'm a one-man band here.
Yeah. No,
So
we've done
pretty
all
good.
of these houses at least. Shit. I've had these clients for 5 years each. and we do their houses typically at least two times a year. So
Cool.
we'll just go through, bang it out real quick. The last house of the day, I don't really remember now that I'm saying it. I know that we did it.
We were there.
Really,
We've invoiced them, but I can't remember what it looks like. I hate that. I'm
yeah.
like,
And
shit.
usually I'm really good about that. But to be honest, the last time we did this house, Billy did it solo.
Okay.
So I don't recall. But like I said, it is up in my neck of the woods. It's like 5 blocks from my house on my same street.
Shit.
So
Terrible.
I'm at 68th Avenue in Irma, and she's at 62nd in Irma. So we just, cross the light. Shoot, I could drive my
You
golf
take a
cart over
gator.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
Gator.
take the golf cart over there.
Nice. Smart. Yeah. I did the
Yeah.
two realtor packages I did last week were both in my neighborhood. So it was literally hook up the trailer, throw the cart and everything in the back of the truck, and then like 3 minutes later, I'm there. Those are some of the best ones, And like I said, I've got that pool deck, which is in the neighborhood. That'll be a nice, easy job. Take me about 2 or 3 hours. Um, and yeah, so just got to stay busy. And yeah, I'll be reaching out to a bunch of past customers today because I'm going to go through who I serviced a year ago in January, whether it's house washing, gutter cleaning, driveways, and kind of retouch all those people, kind of like a targeted whatever. Because usually I'll send out like an email blast or something, the A's, the B's, the C's. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a personalized cold reach out to via text. Hey, I cleaned your windows last January. How's it going today? I hope you're staying safe and warm. Just letting you know we're offering like 10% for anybody until January 31st because I'm getting like the call to action because I'm pretty sure everyone knows it's slow. Even if you're down here in Houston, the landscaper comes every 2 to 3 weeks, and that's a sign of
Yeah.
the cold, sign of the times. So offer those.
Jay Camarero said something right to you. Hey, you plan on staying solo or hiring? I think you've answered this in the past, but
I mean, I'm considering now that I'm getting older and such. My whole big thing is I'm just nervous of guys. I do window cleaning and pressure washing, gutter cleaning. So there's a lot of ladders, acids, bases, high pressure, hot water, falls. So I'm very risk averted, or yeah, I don't like liability. So I know myself and what I'm capable of. I would love to hire on and put on some guys. There's a lot of low ball peers of mine in the area, which I probably could easily subcontract the work out and like take a chunk. But because I stand behind my work, et cetera, I am Mr. Deeds. I'm not Mr. Deeds and Co. So I'm probably going to try and stick solo. But if I can figure it out and get comfortable with the idea and afford it to have an employee or two or a subcontractor, like a 1099 guy, I might do it. Because, yeah, I'm Mr. No Ads. I don't do really a lot of ads. I do more referrals, word of mouth. So I stay just busy enough. But I know if I turn up the heat and start doing Facebook ads or EDDM or blanketing door hangers, I'd be pretty damn busy where I need to hire. But I don't like all that juice. Just wanna be me. So probably stay solo.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
went
it's
through that.
easier.
Um, like I've shared this before. Huge in 2023, and I had just put in, I don't know, 4 straight years of just solo work, just like grinding and doing all the 2 stories and doing all the fucking screens and just doing everything. And I
Yep.
finally get to the huge, and I'm like super overwhelmed, but like also like grateful that I'm there. But I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And I'm patient with Jersey, and I'm just kind of just pouring it out there. And I'm like waiting for him to tell me these like words of these pearls of wisdom, like, hey, you got this, or like, hey, this is what you can do, or maybe, hey, it sounds like this would be a great idea. And Jersey's pearl of wisdom was like, oh, it sounds like you already know what you got to do. And I'm like, motherfucker, you didn't tell me anything. Like, where's this pearl of wisdom? Where's
So
this
okay.
at? And but the conversation went on, and I did know what I needed to do. At least I thought I knew what I wanted to do or needed to do, and bring on a couple guys. But I like, we're talking about the systems right now. I didn't really have any training system implemented. I didn't really have any structure. I would just bring people in and train
Mhm.
them and this and that. And So that was me, error on Jason's behalf.
Hmm.
But um, I guess it's just because of the way that I was trained and the way that I had done and worked in the business before, that it was more like, look, there, you don't really, didn't, in my opinion, at that point, I was like, you don't really need a system. You're just cleaning
You are the
windows.
system.
Yeah. And that's kind of the whole point and how I always did streak free. Um, but it was just like, systems, paperwork, thinking, brain. So I want to do
Man,
it.
we don't have to think. It hurts my brain. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop with all this
So
fucking
saying,
busy work.
I want to soap it up and suds it up and squeegee it off. Saying
It's a
that's
lot
all I
easier. See,
that's
that's
all I
right.
wanted. That's all I wanted to do. But it turns out, some of those systems are kind of important. It's weird though too. It's now I'm at a point where it's just me and Billy, and
Oh, Billy.
yeah, oh Billy, and trying to teach the two, like trying to teach an old dog new tricks sometimes is more of a headache and more of a pain in the ass than I guess
It's easier to
the
teach
out
somebody new your systems than to teach somebody old.
yeah,
Somebody
and
who's kind of
the
set way.
outcome, like just just thinking of the possibilities of me and him trying to butt heads about implementing something that isn't
But
really, that might not really change that much or affect us that greatly. I'm just like, is it really worth it? So
well, Gabe said on here, he said, I need to, possibly hire a helper, do the unskilled things. And he's right. Like the amount of time I spend walking up to the window, taking off the screen, blowing it out, setting up the cart, running the hoses, all that shit. It takes like 30, 40 minutes. And meanwhile, I'm standing there looking at my watch like, damn, some guys can finish this in like an hour and a half. I'm 40 minutes in and I haven't cleaned a window yet. What the F?
yeah.
So it does, hiring a helper, it's a really good thing for your business. I'm just
So
more of a,
that was the
yeah.
whole idea, and the thought process in the beginning was like, look, I'm gonna pay some kid or some guy $17 to $20 an hour just to fucking brush my screens because I don't have
Yep.
time anymore. I don't. But it turned out that, like, even that, talk about a pain. It take almost a week to train somebody how to remove screens properly. Like seriously,
Well,
I don't
you had a
have a week.
history. You kind of helped out some cats who went out and did their own thing after, right? So you kind of got
Yeah,
burned a little bit, and that's
yes
another.
and no. Like the fourth guy, one of the fourth and the fifth guy that I trained, did go out and start their own stuff, um, which is fine too. Um, but like also what I was getting at too is like you spend a week teaching somebody how just to remove screens properly, so you're not replacing screens constantly or
Mhm.
replacing the the frame or the screen. So you go through all that headache, and then you finally get them trained or whatever, and that's a pain in the ass, right? Excuse me. Oh, but it's like, why did I just waste a week of time? And then they work for another week or 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, I'm gonna go start my own business. I got it all figured out. All
I'm gonna
right.
make $500 a day. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, here in Houston, I've got, like I had said before, next door, people just jump on like, hey, I can pressure wash. Hey, I can gutter clean. Hey, I can clean windows. It's like your name is like Jose Estrada HVAC plumbing. How are you doing like window cleaning? Or it's like, are you gonna hire that guy? It's just weird. So part of that is, um, yeah, just make yourself a professional. And if you do have quality text and stuff, like Cody, people are saying in the chat, make sure you have high expectations because your name depends on it, your quality, and that's what makes me nervous. Is because I've worked with a window cleaner or two who've helped me on a job one day, and I finished the front of the house, came to the back, and he's only cleaned like 3 windows. I'm like, oh shit, like that you should be done here. So unrealistic expectations, and then yeah, it's just communication.
Yeah, and that was something that I always felt like I trained properly, for the most part.
Mhm.
And how, setting in an expectation, I was pretty good about that as well. Um, I guess it was just, I'm also I'm a little bit of a pushover when it comes to certain things too. I'm like, I don't like to see people struggle. I don't want to see them take forever either. So
Yeah.
something takes 2 or 3 minutes on something, and I'm just like, move, dude. You're taking too long. Just let me do it. And that tends to take over too. A lot of times, you know what I mean? What happened?
No, I don't know. I'm thinking of Dennis Reynolds from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Uh,
You're gone
but
from my.
yeah, like I'm just like, hey, you're taking too long. How about I just do it myself? You know how it goes. But
Yeah, nobody can
uh,
do it like you can until you figure out people can. And you're like, damn, people really can. And that's my hookup is like, I'm the Deeds, I'm Mr. Deeds. They're going to get what they pay for, which is a high quality, respectable professional. And so I'm afraid to put my tramp stamp on there. But yeah, maybe this year, maybe this spring, I will get a helper or something because there's a lot of guys. Like I said, always I get 3 phone calls a spring from guys all over my area and beyond. Like, hey, I just saw you on Facebook and looks like you're pretty busy and you know what you're doing. Do you have any pointers? So occasionally I'll do like a half-hour chat with some guys and walk them through. And some of my biggest advice I ever give anybody if they're thinking into getting into pressure washing, window cleaning, is plan on marketing because a lot of guys will buy all the equipment, they'll buy all the training they can get, but they won't realize that if the phone's not ringing, they're not getting any jobs. So the important thing is getting your name out there and doing quality work and getting referrals. So, you know, that'll be fun. But maybe I'll take one of the calls this year and I'll put somebody to work.
that would be awesome. I think too, yeah, maybe even like do part-time helper or something like that. Just find
Mhm.
somebody if you can.
Yeah,
Um,
on call guy.
that would be awesome. Somebody said, let me see here. You can't let your bitches know how much you're making. That this is true too. They like to go and undercut you in some circumstances. Eric, you're right. Corey says, never find an employee to do the job, same standard quality, professionalism. My goal is to set them as close as possible. Corey, that's absolutely true. Sometimes we do find people who care about it as much, but it just takes a lot of sifting through the funk. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Damien recommends a non-compete signed.
Those have been thrown
We
out
got,
by the courts, though. That's a double-edged sword, tricky.
yeah. Gabe mentions, look, if you're trying to drum up some more business too, whenever you're in an area that you want more work in, take a few pictures there. Make sure that your geotag is turned on for your camera and post once a week with those pics of your bid on your business page. It helps your
Yeah.
visibility there. And then our
Yeah.
partner, our buddy, Mr. Michael Draper, you know how he deals with -22? He
By
comes to Phoenix.
Yeah, come to Phoenix. Bring that cold weather
What's
with
up?
you.
What's up, Playboy? What's up, Mike Draper? Give your boy Goo a holler. We'll get together this afternoon. I'm
Welcome to
down.
Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm down to get together, hang out. I know you got some stuff going on downtown today, so
He's
maybe we
going to
can.
Sedona. Going to visit the vortexes, and then he's going to Vegas. The poor guy. Dang it.
Yeah, he's gonna be downtown this afternoon. I'm gonna see if I can't finish up my work and catch up with him. Hopefully that works out.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I'll help you, Gil. I appreciate that, brother. Adam, you're the best, dude. I can't. So it's funny. Real quick, I want to switch topics. You know, we're trying to we're looking at guests in February, March. We're pretty much kind of booked um, into March, and we both, you know, have wanted to have Adam Hogan Jr. on. And I reached out to him a couple months, like, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks ago or something. And he let me know what his schedule was like, and it probably wasn't going to work. And I forgot that I reached out to him. And then I hit him up again. He's like, yeah, man, you already asked me. Like, hopefully, you know, it can't work that, you know, this time of year right now. I'm doing something, but maybe we'll catch him at Elevate. So hopefully that works out.
Yeah.
Because I would love to get Adam on. He's been somebody who's been popping in for a long time and
Yeah.
big supporter of
Got
the
some great
show.
videos
So
too. Yeah.
he is
He's
creating
rocking the pole.
some fun content these days, and I really enjoy watching his stuff. So Adam, definitely want to get you in soon, my man. Definitely want to get you in soon. And Jake,
Yeah.
I'm really glad.
Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
glad that Jake's here too. You know, he's talking about the weather in Utah. You know, we're doing all right,
Utah.
man. We're doing all right here on the Southwest. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
everybody's
Oh,
doing all right.
Canada. But yeah, as Gabe was saying about
Canada.
the whole taking your pictures, of the neighborhood. Sometimes it's good to stop and get out and do that. The monument that says Stone Fork Community or whatever, the entrance to the neighborhood. Get out there, take a selfie with that, or take a quick video, put on Facebook. Like, hey, this is Mark. I'm standing out here in XYZ neighborhood. We're cleaning some windows today. we just wanted to let you know that we're active, in this neighborhood, in this community, and we've got a lot of customers. We'd love to clean your windows, blah, blah, blah. And then pop that on Facebook, pop that on your Google My Business. That way, if somebody's scrolling and they see your updated video of you standing in front of their neighborhood sign talking about it, that gives you a lot more credibility and looks better than just calling the 1-800 number, type window cleaner guys.
1-800 mix a lot and kick them nasty thoughts. Baby got back. Is that what you do?
Yeah, that's exactly what you do.
No, you sing put them on the glass.
Put them on the glass. 34,
what you
36. Yeah. Only if it's my squeegee. Yeah. But yeah, I love some mix a lot.
Only if she's 5'3".
Yep. I feel it. I feel it deep down. So yeah, it's a happy Monday. We've got some chilly weather. Luckily, we had a whole bunch of rain over the weekend that did not freeze. But luckily for us, we had high windage. So it basically dried up all the roads. We're good to go on that, which is nice. Oh, good morning, Evie.
Look, it's cousin Ed. She can't hear you right now because I got the microphone in for once. So everybody says good morning.
Morning, couples.
I heard sounds.
You heard sounds?
There's
the kitty cat too. Meow. Everybody's coming to say good morning today.
Yeah, good
it's
morning.
It's a happy
everybody.
Monday. These are all yours to sleep still? Everybody got the day off? Everybody just chilling?
No, my kids, they're off of school today. 2 of them are homeschooled. The other one goes to kindergarten at the church. But they're closed because all the schools are closed. So we've got a full house today. Pretty much we're a slave to this guy right now. This bad boy is in our living room pumping up the jams, kicking out the juice. So we're like, yeah, Mr.
Jam,
Here,
pump it
pump
up.
it.
Why y'all feet are stomping? The
So
baby's Evie's looking at me like, what is he doing? What a weirdo.
What a weirdo. Yeah, this is our little tin guide this morning. He's keeping the downstairs a little toasty. You got to cook cinnamon rolls, get that up and
working. It's a heater to keep Mark's feet warm.
Mm-hmm.
His little toesies from freezing off and breaking off into icicles.
Yeah, my kids come down the stairs, in the morning and it's cold down here. They settle up right in front of that heater with their blanket and warm up real quick because, it's 77 or 75 upstairs. It's beautiful, but down here it's probably like 68, 71, which is freezing compared with upstairs. So, yeah, got the big old drafty house. And in the wintertime, these homes in Texas, my home was built in 1978. So it's not, they didn't really.
78, what a great year.
Yeah, what a great year. Good times. Great old.
I know a guy from 78. I know a couple of guys from 78.
You're as old as my house.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Me and Squeegee Tom coming in from 78.
Great Scott,
Mama. Wine.
That's right. Spill the wine, take that heater. So that guy's running at full capacity. I've got my garage. I did leave my Zero Pure in the garage last night because it's 41.2. So it's like 23 outside, 42 in the garage. And it's okay. Kind of got a little nervous. So I'm going to roll that bastard into the guest bathroom tonight because it's going to get down to 24 again. And I just don't want to deal with it. But what I do is I take incandescent Christmas lights, the glass bulbs, and you can wrap that around your pressure washing equipment or near it. And it produces just enough ambient heat that it won't allow the pipes to freeze and stuff. Or at least I tell myself that. So get enough heated.
That's what you're telling yourself, right?
Yep. Get a moving blanket, put it over. Well, this is at least for my hot water pressure washer, the big beast I've got. I put a blanket over it, and then I just shove some Christmas lights in there, and it produces just enough warmth that the lines won't blow up. So I think it was Zach Sly last week showed a video of him blowing out the water in his membranes and stuff at his Zero Pure. And then I think he, for some reason, took the whole damn thing apart and brought it in his house when he could have just wheeled it in there. Like, Timmer! I was like, no, wheel that bastard in there. You don't need to Frankenstein it. But at least he's got a good hand around his cart. He knows how to use it. He knows how to abuse it. It's like some guys wouldn't know how to take it apart and bring it in piece by piece. But he was on it. So hats off to Zach for being able to take apart your machine and putting it back together again, or at least taking care of it. Because you can winterize it and stuff. You can get the water out of it. But if the membrane's wet, the filters, pre-filters are wet. I mean, even resin, I'm sure would expand at 31 degrees or something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so just be careful, guys.
I think Adam's laughing at the Temet reference. Jay's. I keep looking at Jay Camarero, John Camarero's, and every time I see John, I still want to say Jay because I see Camarero. So, and he already said either name is fine, but Jay's mentioning look for clients who see value, not price. Now, obviously, that's the ideal goal, but a lot of
Yep.
times when guys are first getting started, we can't even fathom being able to separate. We're just concerned about getting a client, not separation of clients. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
of course. You need the experience, you need the job, you need the money. A lot of
yeah.
guys jumped in with both feet. Some guys do it. I mean, I started my Mr. Deeds part-time. I was sitting at this desk, looking at that TV, looking out that window when the deeds lady in my neighborhood came driving up with the clipboard. So I'm like, man, I gotta go see what's up. So long story short, that's the catalyst for my starting. So spent a lot of time on my computer watching like Keith Kalfas, watching all the pressure washing guys, looking at how they do their business and stuff. And then, jumped in with both or with one foot doing part-time work for a while to afford to have a third kid. And then that's history. So now I use my whiteboard and I could put, list of clients for the week, stuff like that. Or I can just write messages like the whiteboard on it. Just get a whiteboard
The
in your office.
whiteboard.
It's a whiteboard, not a blackboard, not a green board.
A whiteboard.
Mhm.
At least you didn't spell it Bored. I'm a whiteboard.
Oh, I'm bored. Oh, Eddie would
Um,
catch that.
Speaking of whiteboards, I don't know if you've ever seen Jersey does he has this idea or this I don't know. He uses a whiteboard to do what he calls a floater board. Have you seen him talk
Sure.
about that?
Yeah, the people who are like, just fucking get it done whenever you have a chance. Just do
Yeah.
it when you can. And that's a lot of my customers are that way. I'll give them a text, a
So are
heads up the
mine.
day
So
before.
are mine. I usually try to, but I see, and I keep them in my head or in my calendar as opposed to on the whiteboard. I don't really have, you've probably noticed, Deeds, I don't really have very much office space, right? Like I don't really have
I love
too
that
much of
movie.
a office space. I don't have too many areas to where I like a designated Jason work area. You'll catch me downstairs on the couch. You'll catch me outside on the back porch. You'll catch me at the kitchen table. You'll catch me upstairs in Maurice's office. I have a shed out back, but the shed typically out back is full of stuff. Um,
Stuff.
yeah, so it's hard for me to get a dedicated workspace for me. Um, and so I have the whiteboard. I even separated it into sections like 2 years ago on how I wanted to do it. It's got like this
Yeah,
electrical tape, like perfectly it's all done.
you got the grids.
It's never been used, never been utilized.
It's
So
okay. It's
yeah.
okay. It's at least you're thinking. I was going to do what John Madden here. Here, what you got to do is you got to get this customer, run him up the middle over here, get this guy here from last year, get him his lead, get him a hot lead here. But I'm not feeling John Madden this morning. But here's a guy. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, I've got no floaters up there right now. It's January, so I've just got two gutters that are scheduled for the week and a pocket full of contacts and leads that I've got to reach out to. I did my customer, I think it was Friday or Saturday. The reason she hired me is because I got nothing but rave reviews on her neighborhood Facebook page. And that's where, like Gabe was saying, take your photo at that entrance to the neighborhood, like Stone Creek, just post that because it does buy you social proof. If you're lucky enough to get somebody from Stone Creek who says, I used him, he was awesome, he was great. And they look at your profile, see a cheesing and smiling in front of their neighborhood sign, it really helps sell. You could also leave a sign, in their yard. I'll do that with a lot of jobs. Anybody in a gated community, I don't mess with door hangers or anything just because of the no soliciting. But if you've got a good neighborhood where, I've got a couple neighborhoods that are 6 miles from me that are like exactly like my neighborhood, but newer homes, newer families. So I hit those hard and they keep me busy. But it's neighborhoods like that where you want to get somebody who's like, you did such a fantastic job. Just say, hey, my only reason for being here is just to do such a great job that you tell your neighbors what a fantastic work we do. I'm not asking for a tip or anything. A Google rating would be awesome, an honest review. But if you've got a minute and can just post something on your neighborhood page, just says, this guy doesn't suck, we would greatly appreciate it. And that actually works. You'll get a lot of calls, a lot of what have yous. I am tied in with an HOA in a neighborhood close by. And I had a lady reach out 2 weeks ago. And she's like, well, I've got mildew on the side of my house and then a clogged gutter. So I gave her the price. It was like $198 or something like that, just because it was so close. she's like, wow, that's really high. So I kind of dumbed it down a little bit. I'm like, well, I can kind of massage this to drop it here. She goes, that's too expensive. And that's like, okay, well, I'm sorry, but I wish I could help you. So a lot of times, you're not going to get every customer, no matter how professional, how awesome you are, they're going to jump. What do you got?
So you just reminded me. I got a call last week. I got a text, a realtor. She says to me, I have a client who's asking if you'll take a payment at close of escrow. House will be listed soon.
Do
Thanks.
it. And that's, I was thinking of that. Go ahead.
I'm like, I told her, I said, that's not something I've done in the past and not really in a position to do so at the moment. I can and will always do my best at making services cost effective, though. I can peruse the property and get the cost over to him. As you know, clean windows make a home pop, especially for pictures and open houses.
Yes. Take the
So,
screens out of the front, let them see through how cute and beautiful it is. See,
well,
go ahead.
and I told her too, I was like, I don't even really understand or know what escrow is. And she's like, well, when the house sells, the money owed to you be sent automatically from the title company from the proceeds. Here's my
Yeah.
concern, right?
Yes.
I don't know. She didn't send me the address of the house. She didn't send me locations. I have zero idea. This could be $150 job, and
Well,
which is nothing, right?
yeah.
I don't, but I also, it could be 4 weeks. It could be 8 weeks. It could be 6 months.
It could never sell. It could never sell, and they got
Yeah,
free
and
fucking deals.
I'm like, that's not the racket that I'm here for.
Well,
And she's like,
let me touch on that topic. Or go ahead. What else did she say?
she says when the carpet company waits for payment time or payment time of closing, they usually charge a little bit more since you have to wait.
Yeah.
How long depends on how long it takes to sell. So,
Yeah.
Obviously I sat and thought about that for a little while. I did not, I basically I told her, hey, shoot me your address and I'll go take a look at it.
Yeah.
I don't want to say yes or no before I even
Good idea.
have an idea what the house looks like. So
And
she is someone that I have worked in the past with, though. So
yeah, that's something that I've been thinking about over the last year, a couple of months. Because of recently, I had the two realtor packages pop up in my neighborhood. So people are actively getting ready to put their house on the market, get rid of the mildew, clean the driveway, clean the windows, clean the gutters, make it realtor ready. The thing with the closing and the brokerage and all that shit just means that they don't pay you until the house sells, when they're at the table signing off, I'm buying your house for 200,000, or they're selling it for 300,000. 10% goes to the realtor. But yeah, as far as that goes, that's something I wanted to look into, because it's kind of like a net 30, net 60. Because, for example, I did a realtor package house last week and she ghosted my invoice for like 3 or 4 days. And we're talking like over $1,000, which is a big deal in January when you're a solo guy doing mostly residential. So I
yeah,
kind of had to hound her. She gets automatic emails from my CRM saying, your payment is due today, blah, blah, blah. If you pay tomorrow, it's a late fee. So I actually had to reach out to her personally and say, hey, I know that you're busy, but I've been sending invoices out automatically, and I'm apologize. I don't know if it's going to the right email, but if you're able to pay this via Zelle today, I can get rid of the $25 late fee. So then she'd, oh, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. But that being said, you can get ghosted by customers. You can get ghosted by realtors, but working on that whole escrow thing, I've been thinking about that, because you can put your stipulation. Obviously, if it's a $200 job, it's kind of like a net 30 or net 60, where you're just doing like a commercial. So you're just waiting on that money. It's like planting a tree. What she was getting at, or what should be done, is like, if you're doing a $300 job, tack on the 50 or 60 or $80, or as much as you want for that matter, because they're dealing with, signing over hundreds of thousands of dollars on their loan, paying it off, and then they have to pay up everything, like you were saying, or at closing. So that is, if you can afford it, if you can afford to wait, that's something I would love to do, is to offer that to people. But it's a double-edged sword. You can do the work, you get it done, and then you find out they don't want to list the house till next month or something like that. Then you get screwed. So you'd have to put in your stipulations like this payment is due in 60 days, and if not closed, then the buyer agrees to pay with a credit card or cash. Because that way you don't wait for for the house to sell if it takes a year.
yeah. I'm just not really I'm not in the position to be waiting on cash. And also, so that means that I go out personally and do it, right?
Right.
Like I can't
Yeah,
send
because you
Billy
can't
out to
front
go
end
do
money.
it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not like in the market of just floating money, and I'm already doing that constantly, and that is getting tiresome. I'm growing very tiresome of that.
Sure.
It's
But that's
one
where it comes
reason.
down to, charging correctly. So a $200 job should be 400, because if you're waiting to closing and all that big money is being pushed across the table of hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
that's when you could say, well, normally I do it for 200, but if you want me to wait 60 to 100 days, I'll do it for 400. I'll do it for
Well,
500.
that's yeah, and I don't have a problem necessarily on that one, and I could
Okay.
work something like that too. I just don't. I also look, just because this husband and wife can't get along anymore, they want to be dicks to each other, doesn't mean that they have to make everybody else wait. Look, solve your own fucking problems. Pay your man. Don't forget to pay the lady. Is what the lady at the yeah. Don't forget to pay the lady. Is what the lady at the what is that
No
show where
tiki, no laundry.
where they sell the storage units. Don't forget to pay the lady. And
Storage Wars? Never
yeah,
played that. I never saw it.
I completed my job. Don't forget to pay the goo.
And
That's what I'm
that's the
talking
problem.
about.
And that's what you're dealing with realtors. They're known for being very cheap, very low. They want like the cheapest price done tomorrow, like immediately done for my customers. So that's where you flip the script on them and you say, yeah, I can wait 30 days, I can wait 60. They have 51 days to pay me. Hopefully it sells within 20 days or 10 days. But that's where you can really massage your price, double it, triple it, even say, I can do it tomorrow for no money for $900. It's a $300 job, but I'll do it for 900, because at closing, they don't get to sell their house until they cross your name off that closing list of paid. So they take all the money out from the buyer or the seller. Your realtor is getting paid 3% to do kind of jack shit. They take pictures, or they hire somebody to take pictures. They post them on Zillow, and then they just make sure your title documents and all that are. I mean, not they don't do nothing, but they do. I've had realtors admit to me like, "Hey, I just made $5,000 today for doing fucking filing paperwork." Damn, that's nice. Let me finish cleaning
Yeah.
your windows. Tell me about it later. But yeah, I mean, you can make money in that whole closing thing. You just have to make money doing it. So don't be a nice guy and say, "Well, it's $200, so for me for 225, I'll wait 30 days." No, no, you double or triple your price, make it worth it, because then you let the realtor knows that you're serious, you're going to do a good job, etc., and get paid. But there's the whole, maybe they're overpricing their house and it's not going to sell. That's where you'd have to have in your language, it is due on demand in 70 days or 60 days. That way you give them the month to sell. But yeah, it just depends on the housing market. But if somebody offered that to me today, that I would like to do that, where I would wait to get paid, but I can make it my price, etc. So that's something I might touch on this week is, if you're selling your house, you can't afford it, Mr. Deeds will wait till closing. That's right, till closing. You won't like the price, but it'll be nice for me. So
It'll be done. It'll be clean and ready to go when you're trying to sell that shit.
yes.
So and I actually, I do work with quite a few realtors, and I don't have any issues with realtors. I did in 2019, 2020, 2021. I had a couple that were a couple of realtors that were always in my business, always trying to get the most bang for the buck, and that's all well and good.
Yeah.
And everybody felt that it was that their house was the most important. But
Sure.
I did curate, I did develop, I did put some effort into love into a few relationships with realtors, and they've been some of the best
Mhm.
partners that I had. I did also train some of my best realtors' kids to start their own business. That was a different one, but you know how that goes.
Yeah, I've
You
got
know how that
one of the
goes.
one of the pages I'm at on Facebook. There was a lady, realtor, who would just keep referring me work, and I've never done any work for her. I was like, shit, yeah, she's just rolling it in. And then one day, it stopped. So I looked on the page, and she's like, "Hire my son Brandon. He can do it." It's like, damn it, Brandon's still in high school, but that's fine, because he's doing the cheapest price type deal, and his mom's a realtor. So have fun,
Yeah.
Brandon. But you got really good realtors, and you got some crappy ones. So you got some nice ones. So that's good.
Yeah, I do have some really quality people. And too, after you've been doing this a long time, the first couple years, and I don't lie to you guys. It's something I work on. I tell you the truth. I tell you what from my experiences. Um, my first couple years after stopping my drinking and getting back on my feet, um, I really, really, really did try to curate those relationships and make sure that I was always like the contact, the go-to, the person who's getting the job done. And once you've established and built those relationships, they continue to flourish. And I'm really proud of the way that I went about my business in the first couple of years. getting those things done, because when you do get those diamonds, those shiny, pretty little
Diamonds.
gems, those pretty little gems of clients, those are the ones that you love and you appreciate.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, and
Yeah, I've got
Tyler's
mates
saying
away
have
that
the
prefer
realtor
Swiss
pay up front, and they can add that to their percentage. It's a good
snaps.
idea
And that's the
too.
thing. It's like the realtors make a lot of money, but they're not going to spend any of their money because it's, you'd have to get a really good confused realtor to spend a dime of their own money. Even realtors are stingy. Like, hey, if you clean my house, I can get you some of my customers. It's
So, you
like,
know,
the hell you will.
I had this one that I've told you about, this couple, the one whose son I trained. They paid for it
Yeah,
up front. They paid. They knew the exact cost per window, per pane count. You know, so they would
cool.
just tell me, this house has 46 panes. Blah 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 blah. This house, we want tracks done. This house, you know, they would just
Mhm.
do it, and they would pay for it out of pocket. It's kind of like what somebody else mentioned, what Tyler mentioned. Um,
Well, they can, because if they're getting paid on the back end,
John
then they,
Cameron.
yeah,
Yeah, then they just deduct it from that too. Um, Jay mentioned something too about, you know, being chasing a builder $5,500 from October. That's like my
yeah.
worst nightmare. And
Mhm.
it's like, and I too, I don't have. Jay's got multiple employees. I have one, so it's like one guy that I'm paying out of pocket constantly, and it's not that big of an issue. But what happens is, you get that $5,500 check that you're waiting on. Then you get another guy who might owe you $1,000, and then you get another one who owes you 600, and usually they're all on time. But that one
Sure.
month when that one guy forgets and it's 4 months late, and then the other two forget too, now you're out $7,500, and you're like, shit, I've already paid out. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, that's that old John Madden. Oh, you know, you
Uh-oh, here's a guy who ain't gonna pay his bills. See, you got over here, you got this
exactly.
lady who's got a credit card debt, and she wants to go ahead and sell the house here, but grandma won't die in the house. She's got to move to assisted living, so they can't pay up front. They don't have the money.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's tricky.
exactly.
And like I said, I just dealt with that, like a big old bill, like come on and pay it, lady. And like I got along with the lady's realtor, gave her a bunch of cards. She works kind of out of my area, but I told her, if the money's right, I'll drive out there. But yeah, you just, sometimes the customers, shit happens. But as far as, I'm going to look into that whole working the brokerage. There could be money to be made in that. It's just, you got to sit on your hands and wait, because a lot of people who are selling their homes kind of are cash strapped. They don't have the money. So offering them,
Well, and
twice the price.
so that was the other thing too, was like, I told the lady, like, look, depending on what the house looks like, I could get there and be like, look, it's a $460 job. I'll do it for 2.25 or something stupid. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
sometimes we're also in positions too where we sometimes
We,
we need the cash, bro. Like, hey, you want a
yep.
good deal? Here it is. Pay the man and get the shit done.
Yeah.
Normally it's a $460 deal. I'll do it for less than half the price, because I
Make it
don't like to
happen.
see
Yeah.
people suffer, and I need some coin too. You scratch my
Yeah.
back, I'll scratch yours.
Yeah. You're
What
still
is it?
making plus
Supply
over
and
70
demand,
bucks an
baby.
hour. And that's the thing here in January. It's quiet as shit. So I've got to go out and drum up business or cultivate it myself by text blasting or, personalized text to people. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I'd be willing. Yeah, I might even do something on Nextdoor or Facebook post today saying, 15% off now until January 31st. We're leaving. We've got our convention in like 2.5 weeks. So I've got to really drum up and land and sell and complete some business and get paid before I, leave for Orlando for a couple of days, because, I don't want to dry up my accounts. That's not good.
Yeah,
So
Squeegee Rich just popped in the building. What up, dog? Nice to
holla,
see
holla,
you,
holla, holla,
partner.
holla,
He
holla, holla, holla.
mentioned earlier last week that he's like, I'm gonna try and see if I can't get in these and pop in and see what you cats are up to live. Unfortunately, we're about to get off air because we're gonna wrap up. But I do want to ask a couple questions real quick. Uh, it's Monday. Best and worst of the weekend. I know there's a lot of football going on. I know earlier in the conversation, Jake Van O. I feel you, dude. I am not a fan of the Patriots. Sorry, Corey Klimas. I know
Mhm.
you probably popped off already. I am definitely not a fan of the Seahawks. I don't hate the Patriots. And actually, with Mike Vrabel as a head coach and that youngster Drake May at the helm, I like them a little
Gator.
more than I used to. You know, I don't mind pulling for them, but boy, do I hate to see chickens. No offense,
Yeah.
Seattle, any
East
fans,
Coast,
but
West Coast.
yeah, bro, they, you know, I'm an NFC West guy. My Cardinals have got their asses kicked by the Seahawks. Their fans can be obnoxious, so I don't know. If both teams
Yeah.
could lose or tie, that's what I'm going for. So, what is your best and worst of the weekend?
Best of the weekend. Lady Peter invoice made me happy on that one. Didn't have to strain my neck trying to get it. The worst of the weekend is just this bitter cold. You know, when it's cold out, they're not buying, they're not shopping. So that's something I've got to work on this week, is really drum up some business. Other than that, I mean, it's been a nice, you know, it's spending time with the family, hunkering down, eating a bunch of junk food.
Dude,
Today
that
I'm
was
going
the
to go
best
out.
part of my weekend.
Yeah, eating those tasty tidbits. I'm probably going to go out. One of my New Year's resolution is to get some commercial route work this year. So I went out 2 weeks ago and landed one new customer. I'm going to go back out in that area and just hit up the other storefronts I didn't, or just drive a little bit down the road or up the road, and just go blanket, start handing out cards, talking to general managers, whoever the head person in charge is. So that's my deal.
The HBIC, the head bitch in charge.
Yep, I need to speak with your manager. Well, the shift leader's here. Never mind, I'll
I'm
be
the
back later.
HBIC. I'm the head bitch in charge.
Indeed.
Real quick, I did some videos this weekend on
Cool.
TikTok, but TikTok was shut down for some crazy reason. So I don't think any of it actually went out to the public. So it's just sitting in my stuff. So I may repost those out. Tyler Levi Smith. I've been trying to find a Collective Soul song. For some reason, I couldn't find anything on the YouTube or on the TikTok this past weekend that was going to allow me to play it. So I'm still trying to get something. I'm still trying to get something out there for some Collective Soul.
Yeah.
What else is I going to tell you guys? Oh,
Yeah, you were
Adam
nominated.
asked. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was nominated. Deeds. Yeah, man. Today's the last day to vote for that. 2025.
Window
Unger
cleaner of the
and
year.
Unger and IWCA Window Cleaner of the Year. Last week, I guess it was Thursday or Friday, the announcement came out, and the voting is open until the end of the day, I want to say. I don't exactly know where to vote for, but I'll look it up and see if I can't post it somewhere in the chat. Yeah, there's a couple great nominations in there as well, and it's fun to be a part of it. You know,
Yeah.
the majority of the people in this room, in this chat, are all
I'm
part
rooting for
of.
you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Well, you guys have all been here with me from this. It all started literally, Mark, you know, at the IWCA last year. We met, we
Crazy.
hung out, we visited. I told you about some of my goals moving forward. Um, the idea about my trip was already in my head, but it got curated when we were at the IWCA. I put it out into the universe, into the world. I think I cleaned in like, I don't know, 15 different cities in like 7 or 8 states last year. Dude, it was just 2025 was an amazing, amazing, amazing year. And to think that someone else saw the effort and love that I put into it and felt that I was worthy of a nomination just made my heart full. So I want to say thank you
Yeah.
to everybody, because it was an amazing year. You know, I shared with you last year that I was going through a funk in February, just gone through 2 deaths, and then yeah, I was really sad in February. And then you and I getting together, it just turned that frown upside down. And then you know, spending the
Yeah.
mornings with you, and especially at that IWCA in Vegas with you, Jersey, Stevo, Mike, Zane, Richie Blue, fucking Mr. Sorbo himself, the Lambrinides brothers. Like, it was all like a culmination of like, wow, this is so amazing. Can we keep
Yep.
this energy going? Can we keep this energy going? Guess what, Deeds?
We kept going.
We kept it going.
Boom. And then we get to see everybody again here in about 2 or 3 weeks at the Elevate conference. So that's going to be really awesome. Another full circle.
I'm reading. I'm reading the. Sorry, I just got sidetracked. I'm reading the comments in the threads. You guys, please don't think that I'm really this corny, but I am this corny. The stuff that you tell me, man, it makes my heart so full. Mark and I do this stuff because it's important for us. It's important to us, um, that we all get our voices heard, that we get to share the highs and lows of what it is that we do when it comes to window cleaning. But it also is important to us that we get to share the highs and lows of our lives and our family. And Mark, you've become a brother. All of our friends and listeners and watchers, you're all family, brothers and sisters. Seriously, and I'm over the moon with the way that 2025 went and with the way that 2026 is going. Um,
Heck yeah.
2026 is going to be even crazier. I have some big projects I'm working on. Um, there are all sorts of fun things, for you and I to get into throughout the year. And it's just going to be more awesome. And I can't even understand how things work out or why they work out. I'm just glad and proud, um, that we're just keep plugging away, buddy.
Yep. Indeedly do,
So,
sir.
indeedly doodly. And
All
to
right.
have you keep
Well,
it going, or else I'll get sad. Don't worry, Adam. We're going to keep it plugging away. I guess it's go ahead and time to wrap it on up. I got to get on out and get on the glass. Yeah, make sure I have all my towels ready. Make sure my soap's in my truck.
don't forget
Uh,
your towels.
don't forget your towel. Yep, yep, yep. So, any last words? Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
So Riley, for all she does behind the scenes and stuff, she's pretty awesome. She's very helpful in our endeavor. She supports both of us and
Yeah,
this little podcast we've got going. Jessica Battle said, can't wait for the coffee gathering. Can't wait either. It's going to be Thursday morning, sticker exchange somewhere in the DoubleTree. We're going to provide some coffee and donuts and a bunch of stickers from our sponsors and from you guys. We're all going to be handing them out and having a good old time. So just can't wait for
speaking
that.
of speaking of stickers, I'm gonna have to do a redo on mine. I got word over the weekend that the design that I wanted to do is not going to work for the sticker portion, so I'm going to have to change some of the. I'm going to have to modify and do
Pixelated.
edit. I'm going to edit it. I'm probably going to go away from what I showed you. I might use those images for digital purposes because I think
Sure.
the image is pretty sweet. I think it's fun. So I may just use it for digital content, but I am going to create some new images and another sticker today. So we'll still have some stuff popping. We will
Nice.
still have some stuff popping. You forgot to tell them something else too, Deeds.
Oh yeah. Make sure to wrap your pipes. Make sure to enjoy your heater because these cold mornings. But no, make sure to wrap your no, not that. Change your rubbers, everybody. Change those
Wrap your.
rubbers.
Oh wait, wrong thing. Yeah.
Yeah, wrap your with your rubbers. Change your rubbers. Make sure they're all shiny and new. I've got a bunch of Sorbo rubbers, so my Sorbo is getting changed every week, and it's very nice.
Yeah, I would like to real
Flat
quick
top.
before we get out of here give a shout out to my wife and kids. They made it such a lovely weekend. We did a lot of cooking and baking and made a fresh homemade berry pie. We made some cookie brownies. We made homemade chicken broth, like all sorts of goodness in the house this weekend going on. So thank you to Marisa, Julian, and Evie for keeping my head straight and level. I want to say thank you to Sid Graff from The Huge. He sent me a package last week. Sid sent me some rubbers. He also sent me a book and a couple shirts. So it was nice to hear from him. But also shout out and thanks to our friends at WCR and Zero. We know that they
Yep.
are going through some nonsense right now when it comes to the weather. But like everything else in life, we shall get through this. We shall overcome.
Yeah,
Deeds
instead of the hand with the what do you call it? The squeegee, they're gonna have a hand on a shovel this week because
or
it's
scraper.
dumping. Yeah, and the scraper. Get your triumph out
Yeah.
there.
Well, I think that's pretty much it. I will say thank you to you, Deeds. You are the producer of the show, the master get together guy. Make sure
The
that
man behind the curtain.
we're always doing the show the right way. Your positivity is infectious, and the fact that You're just an all around good dude. I appreciate and love you, pal. Let's
Thanks.
give a shout out to our appreciate you, buddy. To our buddy Squeegee Tom in New Hampshire, all the New Englanders, Corey Klimas, my buddy John Magnos, who's been dealing with some back issues, and for anybody who's been dealing with any health issues, please, please, please get better. Know that you are loved, and know that it gets better soon. I
Yes.
hope everybody has a wonderful week. Shout out again, also Alex Ambranitis, who's snow blowing without a snow plow. I apologize, and I hope it's not a big clusterfuck of snow, but you'll get through it, buddy. And we'll try to get you on later this week. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and stay up, stay gold. Hope your passion bucket's full. Make the week of January 26th kick ass.
Have a great week, everybody. We got some
Peace out.
some fun guests. Yeah, we got John Lee coming Wednesday and Jay Camaro on Friday. So tune in, tune out. It'll be fun.